Hey guys, Trevor Chakudi here. Today I'm joined with Rob from my office, and today we really want to talk to you about tension headaches. We've got a couple of really cool tips to reduce your tension headaches down that you can do at home that work really well. We know that Christmas is coming up. People are starting to get a little bit worried. The stress level is starting to bubble. It's kind of like, oh my God, are we winter still? And now we're post-COVID lockdown, or are we getting to Christmas? Is school finishing? Everyone's kind of a little bit confused, and a lot of people are starting to suffer tension headaches as a result. So we want to talk to them, talk to you guys today a little bit about the tension headaches and what you can do to understand whether your headache is a tension headache or not, and also what you can do to help it. So we'll go through what you can do at the end, but I want to talk about a little bit about tension headaches first. So, characteristics. Rob, what are the main areas that we tend to feel tension headaches with?
Well, the big thing with tension headaches is you get it's kind of like a hatch pattern around your head. So it's like a tension through around the head. So it's often described as like the head's being squeezed or something like that, or the pains around that. You can also feel like the jaw's getting a little bit tight. Like you feel like the muscles through here pulling really hard, or there's just tension, there's tightness in, like you just want to stretch them all out.
Yeah, so we get this feeling, like there's just like this tightness right around. Like sometimes people get jaw tightness, and I just want to stretch the jaw out. Sometimes it's through that area, but the temple area is really a common one that a lot of people get these tension headaches from. And differentiating, say, a tension headache from a migraine, do we see visual changes or hearing changes with tension headaches generally?
Well, not really. Most of the patterns are just that tension type feeling and the jaw tightness. The visual changes or stuff like that, that'd be a different kind of migraine.
Yeah, okay, so that's a big thing. Yeah. So tension headaches tend to have more of this neuromuscular kind of pattern to it, where the migraines really have a brainstem involvement, which whilst you can't individualize them directly, there's a big part of it in that regard. Okay, so is there any sensory things that we can look for? Is there any things that we can touch or feel that might sort of make us suggest that we have a tension headache?
Well, in regards to the jaw stuff that we spoke about, you'll find that the muscles through your skull here on the side, it's like a big fan muscle through there. You'll find often that's quite tight and tender.
Yeah, so it has that kind of a spray, kind of like that, the way it comes out.
Yeah, and when you touch it, it's just soft. It's like a tight shoulder muscle or something like that.
Yeah, it's a really weird kind of tenderness, isn't it? It's kind of like you push on it and it's sore, but it kind of feels good at the same time.
It's like a relief,
relieving pain, like happy pains. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we know what tension headaches are. We know how to differentiate them from things like migraine and things like that. Now we know where to touch to see whether we're not possibly having a tension headache. All right. So give me a couple of things that we can do. What's one thing we can do to start with to help people sort of settle their tension headaches down?
Well, the first awesome thing you can do is probably just loosen that muscle up. So you can just like rub it, because you'll find it feels good anyway while you're doing it. So you just like work your way through it, rub it around, try to stretch out the muscle, almost like you're trying to loosen it. And then even you can just stretch the muscles through there and kind of rub them out and make them feel like they're just calm down.
And especially those posterior fibers, so the ones that come just above the ears here and like fan, just above there, they're actually really tender in people with tension headaches. And when you rub them, quite often that gives you a really significant relief. It's a big thing, yeah. Sometimes it's just something as simple as this. All right, the other ones I'm going to talk to you about, a couple of points called Bennett points, which there's not really much evidence on, not much research on at all, but these things we've seen clinically work really well over the years. It was originally thought that there's an influence on vasculature within the brain with these points. Now they're often referred to as neurovascular points, and there's a couple of key ones that we often find help with tension headaches. What are they and where are they found?
Well, they're just sitting up here above your, like I suppose your eyebrows. There's just 2 points there.
Depends where your eyebrows are. If like me with a one eyebrow, don't work too good.
Be careful what you're using. But yeah, they are up there, and there's kind of like 2 points. They feel like a pulse. And what you're just trying to do is you just want to stimulate them. So you want to kind of find them, move it around a little bit until you feel it pulsing under your fingers, and then you kind of they should equal out. So it's like they'll be separate and random, and then all of a sudden they'll just start pulsing together. And kind of while you're doing that, often you can just think about what's stretching out or what's winding up, and you can just help let it go sometimes.
And it just stimulates blood supply through those emotional centres. That's the belief, at least. And it's just that synchronisation. It's a very subtle pulse. So we're just going to put a couple of fingers there and just gently hold them and just feel for that pulse. And you'll often find that they are a little bit out of synchronisation. Think about the stress and hold them there, and they'll often start synchronising nicely. And what percentage of people do you think it calms and helps them out with?
Geez, pretty high.
Yeah.
That's almost like it's higher than 50%.
Yeah.
In the room as well, they just feel like, oh, that's just so much better.
It's like, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm starting to calm down. Keep doing it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, so it's one of the things that we often tell patients, ideally when there are issues with tension headaches and stuff, you really need to get to the root of it and we need to resolve it. And sometimes there's emotional components, sometimes there's physical components and neurological components. But these two things, the rubbing through that area there and the actual neurovascular points, are things that people can do at home. They're not going to do any damage to them, and they often are very, very successful from what we've seen over the years in helping to calm those headaches down. Anyway, guys, Trevor, Rob, always great to give you some more information, guys. Hopefully that helps some of you out in some way, shape or form. Don't forget to share it. If you know anyone who gets tension headaches and they need any help or whatever, just post them up below. If you're a bit unclear what some of these points are or whatever, just message me or post them up below and we'll get you some information. Otherwise, from both of us for now, until the next vid, we'll catch you soon.
See you
Bye
later.
for now. See you guys.